What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Bryce with the Real Squad here for a quick review of The Wolfman. This is directed by Leigh Whannells. He did the first three Saw movies, Upgrade and Insidious. So knowing that going in here, I was kind of excited because he has such an eye for the horror genre and very innovative, especially what he did with Saw, Insidious, and of course Upgrade. Now he's taking on the MonsterVerse. The first movie he did was The Invisible Man, which was a hit, and now he's doing The Wolfman. And his take on The Wolfman, it is more so like a disease that you contract other than you literally being bit by a werewolf, the traditional transformation situation. It follows Blake, his wife Charlotte, and their daughter Ginger. And Blake, the father, he is transforming throughout the entirety of the movie, as you can see in the trailer. The whole movie takes course over one night, so I didn't know that going into it. I thought it was going to be like a few days situation, or it's going to take like a week for him to fully transform. No, this happens in the course of one night. But I'm going to say the setup for it, how they get to this farmhouse barn that he has to go to, I love that. I love the setup. The hidden message behind The Invisible Man was something like domestic abuse. And here, Leigh Whannells does the same thing with The Wolfman, where it's breaking generational curses. And I feel like that was handled pretty well in my eyes. I know the reviews for this have been mixed, but going into it, I actually really enjoy what they did with that message. Me having kids myself, it's very understandable trying to handle your kids differently from how your parents did or parents handled you or whatnot. And as I said previously, with the transformation, it is not a instant transformation or like your typical transformation. And the way they slow burn into it, the most interesting parts is seeing Blake starting to develop the senses of a wolf. There's a pretty interesting scene where he starts to hear things that he shouldn't be able to hear, or how you can be looking through the perspective of his wife Charlotte. The camera would transition to his perspective, and now you will see how he will see that same situation. And the way Leigh Whannells plays with the lighting is incredible. That was pretty much my favorite parts of the movie, when it would show you the human perspective and of course the werewolf perspective of the exact same situation. For me, if I'm in a dark room, it's completely dark, obviously, but in the perspective of somebody going through this werewolf transformation, it's pretty lit because your eyes start to change. And so the way he was able to play with the lighting and use that same lighting to give you scares was amazing. I really enjoyed that, and I didn't think it was going to be as scary as it was. I was actually pretty scared, and usually I've said this before in a lot of my reviews, if something is scary and is getting to me, I'm kind of cracking up like, oh shit. So I was actually really enjoying it. There were a few scenes as far as dialogue that was a little wonky, but the overall tone, and I said before, the setup of the movie was excellent. The atmosphere, it being in the woods, you have to do a Wolfman movie in the woods. I mean, I know you got your werewolf in London and stuff like that, but I feel like rebooting the genre and trying to get back to its roots, I felt like that was the best way and the best case to do it. And what Leigh Whannells was able to do with this house and this barn, it was pretty fantastic. I will say the movie was a little longer than it needed to be. Some scenes went on too long that it was kind of unnecessary. So it probably could have trimmed off maybe about 15 minutes and probably would have still had maybe even a better outcome. The way that the final transformation looked at first, I was kind of I'm actually a werewolf fan when it comes to like werewolf, vampire, stuff like that. So the more fantastical usually is what I'm going for, but I could appreciate what he did with the final transformation. And who's to say that the longer you have this this virus, maybe you will start to transform more and more. But from what we've seen, it was just over the course of like 8 hours throughout the night. I want to give a shout out to like the editors in the movie. It was very well edited. And I can't shout out enough the lighting. I think Leigh Whannells has another banger with this one. It's probably not as good as Invisible Man, but I enjoyed it, especially with the underlining tones, especially the foreshadowing with the generational curses that we have to break. and we're constantly trying to change and upgrade and be better people and be better parents. And I felt like in the end it worked for what it needed to be. But yeah, just wanted to do a quick review. Didn't want to hold you guys too long. If I have to give it a rating, I'll give it a really high, real dope movie. So like a 7.9. Could have been close to an 8. But like I said, it was some things that didn't work quite as well as I feel like Leigh Whannells wanted it to. And just judging it off his previous work with The Invisible Man, it wasn't as peak as Invisible Man, but I still absolutely recommend it to go check it out in theaters. I want to see him continue to tackle different movies in the monster universe just to see what he does with it. And yeah, I know each take is gonna be unique, so that's what I'm here for. The unique take. I'm tired of seeing the same thing as I'm sure everybody else is. But thank you for pulling up. If you're new here, make sure you hit that like and that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you know when we drop. We go live once a week, every Thursday at 9:30. So yeah, man, fuck with us, Real Squad. Right on, everybody. Appreciate y'all for coming through, and I'm out. Peace.